All right. Hey guys, I'm Chris Arredondo, co-founder and VP of Customer Success here at Cargo Chief. We're a freight tech company that solves some of the industry's biggest issues, not just when it comes to capacity, but sporadic capacity. Not just rates, but the volatility and inaccuracies in the market that we see today. And how we do this is through our project and procurement software called C4. So let's take a look here. As I run this lane search, let's call it Atlanta to Lakeland for a van. Let's do pickup date tomorrow. One of the first things that you'll start to see take shape is our pricing engine in this current rates box up here. What this is a forecasted prediction of what we see that the market is doing, giving you a true cost of your next load that you're gonna book. And how we do that is as loads are booked in the C4 network, we process those transactions based on current data, recent and relative information that's coming through. One of the big things here is that as we pull in transactions, the rate is populated by not just historical data, loads booked yesterday, today, but as I'm talking right now, loads are being booked in the C4 network. Freight doesn't stop. So naturally, we've got loads booking today, tomorrow, and even next week. You can see that here in the recent transactions view with some pre-booked data actually. So here if we come down here to the 5/11 date, pickup date 5/11, we can see here it's the 10th. There's not really a better clear picture other than seeing what transactions are going on outside of your own network. And what this does is give you a better idea of how to make a more informed decision, not just with recent transactions, but having a confidence score, let's call it in the green, and also matching it with lane density, meaning how many carriers match this lane at any given time. It kind of brings us here to our capacity database. It's as straightforward as a spreadsheet, but with the power of just that, a database. One of the things that we'll do with your subscription of C4 is we'll actually map your carriers here in this list. And what that does is give you access to those quicker targets, focusing on carrier retention so you're not just complying and booking a new carrier with all the risk that comes in that. One of the reasons why I'd say freight brokers lean into Cargo Chief and buy into C4 is because they can also expand their carrier base. So here we have access to over 600,000 carriers that you can actually tap into and expand beyond what your network solves for when they can't pick up that freight. We also give you the capability to filter this list just as you would trying to find a carrier that fits your freight mix, making sure you've got the right carrier relationship and the partner that you're gonna spend time with. You can sort this list by haul direction, whether it's head haul or back haul, the list will update. Also going from my carriers, seeing how many are in your network here, and then seeing the power of C4's network if you need to go beyond that. If we go further into the profile, let's just call this DSL Express Trucking. We'll actually give you some more information. That way you have a good contact and not just dispatch, right? So here we've got John, giving you a more personal touch to when you actually call them. The database grows as transactions come through. So naturally here, as we're talking right now, loads are being booked and these profiles are being updated, giving you a way to scale on a repeatable process and not just having to focus efforts on building a carrier profile. We'll do that for you. So how we do that is through one of our features called projects. And what that is we look at kind of carrier relationships and position everything here through the lens of procurement, really. So when you're thinking about a repeatable process for your company, is it your operations that needs help or is it automation? A lot of times it's just simple process improvement. So here, there's a lot of ways to build out projects, but here on this list, as your team is calling through and searching, we've got projects over here that can leave notes on certain carriers, getting rid of those sticky notes, not just left on your desk and tossed. But here, as you're reaching out to carriers, you can drag and drop them over to your project, finding the ones that fit the best. And now every time you get that freight come into your project, we'll show you a recommended list if there are any updated carriers on that list. Also giving you a quick go-to procured list as well for your pocket carriers. Not just keeping tabs on your regular core carriers, also carriers you find in C4 and as they call in. I think some of the pitfalls of a lot of tools out there is that you can't really keep carrier leads on an actual load unless they've actually hauled that freight for you. So we give you a way to actually keep that list organized in a streamlined fashion, if you will. Next, instead of emailing carriers individually, click this button for one-click email outreach, staging that capacity right to your inbox. The next thing here is actually giving you visibility into your network on more of a lane level, and it's a good way to think about C4 position more in a lane, helping you book more freight and volume rather than one load at a time. So here on scorecards, we've got our lane reports. What we'll do is actually show you kind of like your load to carrier ratio, like the breakdown between how many loads to carriers am I booking. On this lane in particular, kind of showing that I'm booking a new carrier every load. Clear room for improvement. What you can do is tap into your loads. The goal here isn't to just pay the cheapest rate that you find, but maybe it's find like this guy, DMV Transportation, see how many loads he can take at 3,100 rather than paying this guy 3,800, right? Furthermore, driving your carrier retention. If I go back here, the other thing that we have, since we have our own pricing engine, we can actually let you know if you're leaving money on the table or if there's room for improvement or if you're buying well. In this particular case, we've got you bought at 42. Forecast you should have paid 36. Since we go back and look at the pickup date, left about $6,000 on the table. That's where the procurement process starts with the build a project function there. The other thing that we have is a DFM type feature where we look at things more from a marketing perspective, focusing on things like carrier reply rates, click rates, engagement rates, open rates. In the end, driving in your carrier engagement and bringing you more options without having to do anything. What'll happen is as soon as your load is built, the booking assistant automation will start and load offers go out straight to your carriers in your network that match our database. And remember that it keeps growing as loads are being booked. What that'll do is streamline and prioritize your reps and your team's next task, yielding the biggest outcome and where they should focus the most time on. Pretty much sums it all up. If you guys would like to hear more about our latest integration with TIE TMS or any other integrations that we have, feel free to stop by our kiosk over here. It's to the right of the registration desk. So see you then.